All right, Savageland is a film that is currently streaming on Tubi. Like we keep fucking... I'm a broken record at this point with Tubi, but found footage fans, Tubi's the joint, man. Okay, so Savageland, a film that I had thought I had seen because it had a similar premise initially when I was reading the synopsis here. I looked at it a few times because I see it on a lot of like lesser known found footage films you should watch, and I'm like, I saw that one. It's about the like immigrants that are like arrested and put in containment areas and whatever. And it's not that film. It's not that fucking film at all. And I was really surprised when we watched this. Like, oh no, I've never seen this movie. And let me tell you right up front, this movie's fucking awesome.
It's so good.
Like, I love this, and it's definitely gonna make my list for lesser known found footage films you should watch part 2. This is definitely one of my favorite found footage films I've seen in a long while.
Yes.
Heavy recommendation from both of us for sure. So this is about the premise, the execution. All of it is just awesome. Like, super top-notch shit here. Now, I could see some people being off-put to it because they think that it's pushing some kind of agenda about...
Oh my gosh, no.
About illegal immigrants and whatever. Fuck off.
Get out of here.
Total nonsense. Total nonsense. No, the point of the movie is that, they aren't really listened to, or, so I could see somebody getting offended by that. I really couldn't give a fuck. But anyway, yeah, so let's see what the synopsis here says. When a small town near the... and let me say this. We went into this completely blind. And that is the preferred way to go into it.
Yes.
So shut this off and go watch it. I don't care if I look at the freaking analytics on this later and it just says right here at this timestamp, everyone stop watching. Good.
Wonderful.
You should.
It's amazing. Just run to Tubi.
Yeah. This is a mockumentary.
Yes.
More than a found footage film. This is done in the style of a news report on an event that took place. And at first we Googled it and I thought it was real. Not the footage we're watching, of course, but I thought it was like based on
real events or something?
In real events, and then they threw in extra horror elements to the story to make it more horror. But no, it's just the way that when you Google this story of the town, Wikipedia comes up and it looks like it's a real thing. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? And you look into it, it's like, no, it's just from the film. So it got me for a second. Yes. I was like, whoa, what? So like 57 people. So, spoilers for the synopsis and not total spoilers for the film or anything. There is one sole survivor of an entire town getting wiped out. And there are dead bodies strewn all over this little town in the middle of nowhere.
In Arizona. Which is why we looked it up.
Yeah, which is where we live. So we were like, whoa, this adds to it, right?
Yeah.
When it's set in your state, you're always like, whoa, what? And so 57 people end up dead. Although, to be honest, when we were watching the film, it felt like 157 people.
Oh my gosh, it felt like
I was like,
so many.
This is more than 57. I'm going to count all these little red dots they put on the map, because it felt like fucking 150.
Yes, it felt like a lot.
It felt like a lot, but that's fine. So the sole survivor is, of course, and this is huge because this is a thing I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
When you survive, a monster that rips through a town, or you survive a zombie outbreak,
or like some
whatever.
kind of demonic possession thing,
you're going to jail.
Like,
because you cannot prove if you're the sole survivor and you have no evidence.
Yes.
You're going to prison.
Yes.
You killed all those people. No one's ever going to believe you. Look how it goes when people try to, plead demonic possession.
Everyone's like, they're
the
crazy.
Conjuring devil made me do it.
Exactly.
Like, you're not getting off
Yeah.
with that. So at the end of those movies, when it like kind of looks like a happy ending, it isn't. They went to prison, and they probably got executed.
Yeah.
By the state if they're in a kill state.
Yeah.
If they're in a death penalty state.
They're in a death state. Yeah, so that premise alone is fantastic because it's this ignored part of horror movies that is something that we think about and other people think
all
about.
the time.
Like, what happens
talk about it
next?
In every video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic to see. And the mockumentary style, like, it is very realistic feeling. Like, it feels like you're watching real news footage, listening to real people.
Yes.
Everybody's performance is just so authentic and genuine.
Especially the main, like, the survivor.
He does a wonderful job.
Yes.
I mean, you really, like, you're watching him and you're like, he went through that shit. Like, he fucking survived it. Like, that's him on the other side of it. Like, holy shit. And there's some photographs in this that, like, they're so unsettling. They're so scary.
Yes.
It's
So he's a photographer and he documents this as he runs through the carnage of what's happening, cataloging this event so he can kind of prove it, right? And the film is found later, and it's 37 pictures, and pretty much every one of them is terrifying and so cool and like effective. And there's just some, like, the pictures in the film alone are worth the price of admission to the film.
Yeah.
Take everything else out of the film. If you just put these pictures, but the film adds to the ambiance of the photo, right? Just handing someone those photos without context, you'd be like, oh, these are cool. Mm-hmm. But the way they set them up, the atmosphere at that point is so thick, and you're waiting to see these photos. And the way they present them, the way they focus in on certain things, the way they show them, the amount of time that they focus on them, it's all very delicately balanced, very perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, they start over here, they come over here, they show you this, then they kind of pan out and they give you these really great shots of these things that you want to see. But the shots are kind of blurred, but they give you enough to leave you unsettled, right?
Gosh,
it's like that really fine line of when you show too much of the monster, a lot of the times it takes away, that separation of the unknown, right? But if you leave just enough for the audience's interpretation, it lingers in your mind.
It really does.
And this is perfectly balanced in that way. Like, you think you've seen everything, but you haven't, so your mind kind of fills in the blanks of it, and you never see anything happen in the movie, technically, right? This is all aftermath stuff. This is, the murders had happened, they're blaming him, then they find the photos. This is supposed to exonerate him. But, they're kind of done with the case at this point. But this, in the documentary, is really kind of trying to push this narrative of like, hey, we need to look further into this shit. This is real stuff. Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing? You're dropping the ball in your police work. And that's really effective. The way they handle the police department. The way they handle the narrative of like how
like racist small town cops are, and it's fantastic because it's saying a lot of things.
How racist small town cops can be.
Sorry,
not all of them.
But it has like these layers of interpretation to the film, which is just it's wonderful. It's so wonderful. And I really like how we work through the crime scene. Like, and obviously, as you said, it's the aftermath, but I think that, going from like the start of what happens and just moving through the town with him and revealing photos along the way, it just really draws you in, and you're there for each. Like, you just want to see what happens next, even though you know the ultimate outcome. But that doesn't make you less invested.
Sure. And I think that the way that they present the photos, they never prolong it to the point where you're like, all right, let's get on with it. Like, they always give you enough. Yeah. They're always giving you just enough to get you salivating for the next one. Even though part of you is like, I don't know if I can see it.
Oh my god! I was like, this is real.
Because the last like the last like three photos that include a little girl are just bone chilling,
they're
haunting
so scary.
photos.
it's real. It happened. Like, I was convinced when we were finished with it. I was like, why did they put, like, real crime scene photos in this documentary?
We don't want to say what it is because we don't want to ruin it for everybody, but
yeah,
it's a super great take on this subgenre.
Yes.
This is 2 different subgenres for the price of one.
Love it so much.
Couldn't recommend it higher.
Yeah, you gotta watch it right now.
Has kind of skyrocketed to the top of my found footage list.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
I don't know where this would fall, but man, it'd be up there.
It's high.
It'd be super really up there. This is one that I'm kind of shocked and pissed off that I hadn't seen earlier.
But I'm happy because we watched it together. Sure. Which that's also really exciting for us to watch new things together that we both love. Yeah. And this is definitely one of those things. So. Yeah.
This is one I absolutely want to add to the collection.
Yeah.
And if for some reason someone sent it to me and I completely forgot, I'd be very happy. But I don't think so. I think Kaylee thought I was going to say, if someone wants to send it to me.
That's what I thought. I was giving
oh my God, send it to us.
Maybe it's in the collection.
It could be.
Look.
It doesn't matter. I save all of, this isn't my phone. We're recording on my phone. But I save our entire collection in my phone on iCollect, an app on iPhone. So, but man, what an effective, brilliantly constructed, eerie, relevant film.
Yes, yeah, very relevant.
It tackles everything that it sets out to tackle very expertly. Yeah. I was just really impressed by how well they handled all the things that they were setting out to handle here. And I'm shocked that this doesn't get more love. It has a 5.9 on IMDb.
Oh, it's so much higher for me.
That's kind of, but found footage films always have that kind of, you can always like add an extra point to a found footage film and it feels a little more realistic because people shit on found footage films. But this is a mockumentary style, as I said. It's a news report documentary on what happened in this town. And man, if it's working for you, holy shit, buckle up. If it doesn't work for you, then it is what it is. Everybody's going to have a different opinion here. But if it works for you like it does for us, fuck, it's a ride. Yeah. It's a great film. But as I said, don't expect to see anything. Yeah. Right? This is all aftermath. All you're doing is seeing this guy on trial, his testimonial, and his pictures, and a reaccounting of what happened by showing maps and pictures of locations. But this, it works.
It works so well because this is like what I always want the found footage to make me feel is that it is real found footage.
Sure, in the moment in which you're watching it is completely real to you.
And that's what is such a wonderful experience with this film. Like, watch it like a mockumentary, but be just in your head, just be like, this actually happened.
We know it's fake when it starts. Mm-hmm. While it's on, a found footage film, when perfectly executed, will make you, even though you know in the back of your brain what I'm watching is fake, you will fully believe it. Yeah. And then when it's over, it sits with you like you just watched something on like the dark web. Yeah. Where you're like, fuck, dude, I just watched some fucked up real footage. Yeah. And then your brain starts to slowly be like, no, I mean, it wasn't real. And it's not real. It's real. But it's so effective that it feels real in the moment. Yeah. And that's a sign of a fantastic found footage mockumentary film. This is excellent. Easy recommendation. Yeah. We'll be seeing it again on our upcoming found footage, lesser known part 2 video as number 1, I'm sure. Probably. So watch it. Tubi.
Yes, watch.
To be continued with the next film we're going to talk about.
Dun, dun, dun. Bye. Bye.